blessed to be here today. I'm just so thankful. I want to thank Pastor B. You know, I want to thank Coach Noah. You know, for even bringing me here today. You know, I'm definitely thankful for my leaders most of all. You know, I have my leaders here. This is the first time they ever seen me speak, you know, outside of the churches. And, you know, I have my brothers here, I have my kids here, I'm thankful. So I've always been a part of FCA, you know, since I was 14 years old with Coach Noah. And even in the time with Coach Noah, he will always pick us up. He will always tell us that, listen, I'm not charging you, but you all need to know a Bible verse. So even in the time with the Bible verse, I always pick the same Bible verse. And he knew that the only thing we cared about was sports. But now we fast forward to this time now, he planted that seed. He never looked at us a different way. He knew that football is all we wanted. But you know, I never knew that it would come to this day to where I would be up here to even share my story, to share my testimony. So, you know, I played 9 years in the NFL, and, you know, I always had a love for football. And, you know, my brother, you know, he was the one that always told me that no matter what I go through in life, he knew that I could make it. Even when I didn't believe in myself, my brother believed in me. And I had to continue to push forward. So even in that time as I'm pushing forward, I'm striving, I really don't see my full potential. But then it comes to one day, we're getting ready to go to college. And you know, my brother was hanging out with some friends, and they got robbed at that time. And the police officer told them warning coming before destruction. But you know, sometimes we don't pay attention to the warning. We ignore what is being told us. So the next day, my brother decided to go out. He decided to hang with some friends. And something just didn't seem right that day. So usually my mom would always stay at her boyfriend's house because, you know, we didn't have enough room for everybody to sleep in the space, but she decided to stay home. So my mom was crying, and she was like, promise me you won't get in trouble. So my brother, he was the type, if he's with you, if you right or wrong, he gonna ride with you. But it came to a situation to where the fight broke out. My brother was in the car. A dude got up, a dude ran to the car, grabbed the guns. My brother friend jumped in the car and tried to crank the car. The car wouldn't start. The dude walked up, shot him 1 time in the head, 2 times in the chest. And my brother got to the hospital. He got up and he walked into the hospital. And the brain, his skull was stuck in his brain, and his head was so big, you know, I never seen nothing like it before. And then as we come back, we realize that, can someone work the slide? We realize my brother, you know, his head is smushed like a football on the side. My brother was a safety, 220 pounds. Then you go to 95 pounds. You know, this was something rough that I had to go through in my life. You know, someone that we had dreams together. We had different things to do. So every time I went into the hospital, they would have to give him a pep talk and tell him to calm down. But he wasn't able to walk. He wasn't able to talk again. He lost oxygen in the brain. And this is a time where I'm going through so much. I don't know what I want to do. And you know, he ended up dying twice and came back. He died twice and came back. So in that time of him dying and coming back, I had to realize it's something much more, you know, for me. You know, I was like, I want to go to school, but I really don't want to go to school. There's nothing else to do. If I can't do it with him, I can't do it at all. And then you realize, you know, this is our family right here on the side. 9 months later, we end up losing my brother. But in the time of my brother fighting for his life, I was at Coffeyville Community College. So in the time when I was at school, it was a 13-man out-of-state rule. And you know, they tried to bring all the best players in, and it was like 90 of us. And I was like, no matter what, I'm gonna make this team. I was the 13th person to get cut. But in the time when we get cut, I was still going to practice. The coach was telling me, come to practice. You know, oh, this school want to look at you. That school want to look at you. But the whole time he was feeding me lies. But the whole time I never knew God had a plan for me. Come on. So, you know, Coach Beck, I love Coach Beck to death. Can you go to the next slide? Like, this is when I decided to go to Pittsburgh State. Coach Beck, he was driving the snow from Coverville to come and try to get me. And I would tell him, listen, there's no need for me to go there. Like, you want to see what I can do in practice. You don't know what I can do. But Coach Beck put me in a place to remind me of my brother. Like, he seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. No matter what I was doing in practice, he was driving like once a week to come see me, and I wouldn't come out the room. So one day, I got hungry. I'm not gonna tell y'all no lie. I got hungry, I walked out, and I seen Coach Beck, and I turned around and I was finna run. But I just stopped and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give it time, I'm gonna talk to him, I'm gonna speak to him and everything. So we went through a whole 6 months journey of them trying to get me. But who am I to say a person that don't have no film, I'm not even on the roster. But I'm trying to control the situation. They gave me a scholarship the first time. I gave it to my homeboys. I was letting them smoke and use it as paper. I wasn't going to Pitt State. I was trying to go somewhere to be closer to my brother. But I woke up one morning and I decided I'm gonna go to Pitt State. And I text Coach Beck 6:30 in the morning. And my exact words was, today is your lucky day. And when I told him today was his lucky day, I ended up signing the papers. I'm excited, I'm like, okay, I got 2 more weeks. I'm about to go back home and share the good news with my brother. But as soon as I signed the papers, an hour later, I received a call that my brother died. So now I'm stuck in a school with no money, no situation, and this is how I ended up here at Pitt State. And in the time of me at Pitt State, no one knew what I could do. No one ever seen film on me. So I told the team the first time I got there, the first time I touched the ball, I'm gonna score. So me and Zach Diggy, we in the locker room, and you know, I'm going through pictures, I'm looking at pictures of my brother, I'm crying. And he's helping me with the pass. So Zach Diggy is the quarterback. And he was like, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I was like, don't worry about me, because before you even get on the field, we're gonna be up 7-0 already. And I played special teams, but I was a receiver. So the defense went out on the field, we stopped them, 3 and out. They punted me the ball, I take it back 89 yards. And as I take it back, you know, only thing I could do was point to the sky. So that was my thing right there. When you look at that, I'm a person, I'm not planning in God. I'm just pointing to my brother. I got it all wrong right here. I thought I had it figured out. My thing was, if I can go to the NFL, if I can take care of my family, that's all that matters to me. That's all I want. Life will be good. Can you go to the next slide? We ended up winning the national championship that year. From a team that went 6-6 the year before I came, we go and win the national championship. And Coach Beck, everything that he told me he was gonna do, he was a man of his word. And that was a place just to go that was so special to me, that meant so much to me. But even in that time of me losing my brother, I'll never forget, his girlfriend came to me when we was burying my brother, and she was like, who is this Smokey? Like, who is this Smokey? She wanted to know who I was. So when she seen me, she walked up and she hugged me, like she knew me. And even in the time when she acted like she knew me, she was like, only thing your brother did was talk about you. He didn't talk about nobody else. All his college teammates came and said, only thing he did was talk about you. That gave me a boost to get up to do what I needed to do. But still, I had it all wrong. I had to do what I had to do to get to the NFL. Next slide. I ended up breaking every record at the college. Every record. I still hold every record to this day. Went to the combine, ran the second fastest 40 time. I performed good. And I'm like, okay, I can buy my mom a house, I can buy a car, I can make sure my family's straight, I can make sure my daughter's straight at this time. Next slide. I go on and I'm having a great career. Everything's starting off good. Everything's going good for me. And then I realized that I started dealing with injuries. Hamstring injury, quad injuries. I'm a person with speed, so I can't perform the way I want to perform. But it's like, I get hit with so much stuff, it's like so much coming on to me, I don't understand what it is. But my thing is like, I still gotta get to a place to where I can take care of my family. Even in a time when I was going through all these things, I felt like I just gotta get one contract. That's all I need. And I go to Arizona, dealt with injuries my last 2 years. I go to Baltimore for 1 year, have a great year, go to the next slide. I go to Buffalo, at Baltimore. I'm doing everything I can, I go to Buffalo. I sign a big deal. And I'm like, okay, this is it. Taking care of my family, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm like, yeah, this is what a man's supposed to do. And even before, I had people in Arizona, they would try to tell me about Christ. I would ignore it. I had people in Baltimore who would try to tell me about Christ. I would ignore it. I get to this point, I'm going to church and everything, but Mr. Lynn, with the Buffalo Bills, I had a PCL injury. I was going through the PCL injury, and everything was just chaos. And in that time, I just felt like it gotta be something better than this. I need much more. My pastor, they was pouring into me. I was coming to church, but it didn't make sense, but I was still coming. I got me a Bible and I still was trying, but it just didn't make sense. Next slide. I'm going on and I'm still doing what I gotta do. You can go to the next one. Everything, I'm still playing for my brother. So I get to this point to where I get released by the Buffalo Bills. And now this to the time like I'm in a position, I'm calling my pastors, I'm trying to get much information. The Raiders get me there telling me, listen, we're gonna take care of you. Anything you need, we're gonna do it. But then I got into a place where it's like, God was calling me for real. The people they had started in front of me, I know they wasn't better than me. But I had a friend named Denzel. He was my shelter. And even in the time when I was going back home and I was getting treated wrong, I was still in my Bible. Me and him would still have Bible study. Even though we didn't know what we were talking about, we would still have a Bible study. And then he was like, it don't make sense. Like you seem like you're to a point to where you don't care about it, you don't understand anymore. I didn't know God was really calling me, but I knew I was kind of running away from it. And you can go to the next slide. And I end up leaving there. I go to the Denver Broncos. I play 2 weeks there. I get released. I go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And when I get to the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm to a place to where, man, it just seemed like I ain't got it no more. You know, I was getting treated bad. I was getting treated wrong. But I was still in my body when it still didn't make sense. So at this time, like, I'm not fully surrendered. I'm not fully tapped into what God is calling me to do, but I'm trying. You go to the next slide. I ended up going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and in 1 year, I played for like 3 different teams. I'm going from different team to team. I'm going back and forth, and then I ended up back with the Buffalo Bills. And in the time when I'm back with the Buffalo Bills, now I'm understanding my walk with Christ. Because it got to a point to when I was at practice, football wasn't football no more. It wasn't something that I cared about no more. It wasn't something that excited me. To the point when I was young, we used to wake up, it used to be football all day. But then it became the struggle for me to go to practice when it was like, only thing I want to do is give God time. So even in those times when I was getting released by these teams, and when I was going in, the first thing I was asking, what a Bible study at? That's what I was asking, what a Bible study at? I want to know God's word more than anything. Because I'm to a point to where like, it's not exciting to me no more. Like, the game is not what it used to be to me. You know, and we have so much we feel like the money, the cars, the jewelry, all of that is good. But when you're not planted in Christ, all hell will break loose in the situation. Because I was to a point where I thought I had it made. I didn't have no peace at home. People was coming up against me. You go to the next slide. And you know, that's my pastor right there, y'all. Y'all give it up for my pastor. Give it up for my pastor. And you know, my pastor, he'll rebuke you, he'll correct me so much, you know, and I always call him with the word. To this day, I call him every day. And the thing about it, he was patient with me. Even when I didn't understand, he was patient with me. So I had to realize who I was playing for, my brother, but I had to realize I wasn't doing it for Christ. But there was some things I had to let go and push forward. So, you know, I'm thankful for my pastor every day. I'm appreciative of everything he do. You can go to the next slide. And that's my first lady right there, y'all. Y'all give it up for my first lady. Give it up for my first lady. She might be little, but in the spirit she big. If you need anybody to pray for you and go to war for you, that's her. You know, and she was always encouraging me. And you know, she would always say the right things to me that I needed to do at this time. And these are my three girls right here. Rare, Rodney, and Kai, the Spice Girls. I call them Spice Girls. Y'all, it was tough getting here today with them because it was a little hassle. But, you know, that's my why, to be able to do what I'm called to do. And you can go to the next slide. And you know, we got Peyton right here. That's our pet right there. No, I'm just playing. That ain't our pet. But that's my wife. My wife ain't here today. She couldn't make it today. I thought somebody would feel bad for me and say, oh, or something. But she couldn't make it today. But, you know, this is my family. And the thing that I wanted to share is that, you know, I remember one time, it's the PAO, it's the NFL event, to where the players, we come together with the wives, the girlfriends, the fiancés, and we do praise and worship. Just like this, we get people that get up and speak. So one time, I go to play paddleball. I ain't good, I'm just going just to go. And I'm playing. And this dude, I'm on this team, and he's supposed to be one of the best in the area. So I didn't understand the game. So we was winning. Then we started losing. And then, you know, the other teammates, you know, the other player that was in the NFL, they was playing, they was talking. And the dude was like, man, this guy sucks. So he was talking to me. And you know, the competitive nature started to come over me, but I'm like, you know, you're supposed to be my teammate. But the thing was that a preacher just said, if it takes for you to lose, for you to win the soul for Christ, that's good enough. And I thought about it. And the way I handled the situation was a dude on the other side that didn't really know Christ. So just imagine if I would have acted out, just imagine if I would have responded in a certain type of way. So the other day before I come here, I'm playing paddleball again, but I'm playing at my next door neighbor house. And the dude, David, who I'm playing with, we losing because of me again. But David was just to a point to where he was patient with me. He was kind. Every time I messed up, he was like, don't worry about it. Do it like this. I need you to do it like that. And even in this walk, these are the type of people that we're going to come across. You need to get around those who are going to be gentle with you. And that's why I'm thankful for my leaders. They are real gentle. And I have Apostle Tyrell Allen. Y'all give it up for Apostle Tyrell Allen. You can have a 30-hour drive. He's going to pray you all the way through there. These are the type of people that you need. These are the type of people that we need in our corner. You know, we feel like the people that we hang around, that we got to fit in. You can still do this walk with Christ and have fun. God is calling you to be different. So it's just to a point to where that even when I think about the situation now, I see what Christ have done in my life. So even to every person that was involved in the shooting that had something to do with my brother, from the person that pulled the trigger to the person that went and got the gun, I forgive them. And if I was in their face right now, I would tell them I forgive them, because if Christ did the same thing and we're supposed to be a walking example of him, why we can't do the same thing? You have to realize before these scars came on us, he had every scar on him. So you have to be able to forgive even in the situation and even in the time. And you have to realize your shield is not just for you and your family. It's not for the people at your church. Because when people were trying to shield me, when I was out into the world, when I was in the NFL and I thought I had a name, they was going one way, I was going a whole different direction. And we try to look at God and we try to understand why certain situations are going the way that it's going. And you know, like the Bible says, you can't serve two masters. You must love one and hate the other. So, if people are calling and people are trying to shield you, you need to be to a place to where the shield and protection are. So I'm here today, even in the spirit, to be able to put my shield down to protect anybody who's willing to give their life to Christ. Or if you feel like you messed up, get up, because Christ is calling you for more. And we have to realize, we all like to text. I'm sure most of us got iPhones in here. When you texting your friend or something, you have an exciting conversation, you see the three bubbles pop up, and you know something good is coming. You know something good is coming and you're waiting on the outcome. So while you're waiting on that, if you walk in this walk with Christ and you doing what you're doing, you should be excited and excited for his return. You should be excited for him to come. Because if you haven't started doing the work, you should be doing it now. You shouldn't feel like you have time. Oh, I'm in high school, I got time. No, the time is now. I let my kids know, these are the things that we have to do now. Because when God is calling you, he's calling you for real. And if he has to humble you like he did me, it'll happen. And you just have to realize, you have to be into a position to where God is calling you. And I ran into a lady in Target today because I forgot my belt. So I had to go pick up my belt. And the lady was behind me, and the Holy Spirit was like, pay for everything she had. I paid for everything the lady had, and she was like, who are you? And I said, I'm John. And she was like, where are you from? I said, I'm from Miami. She wanted to ask me all type of questions. I paid for it, and she was like telling the kids, listen, get out the way so I can record him. And I'm like, no, I didn't do that for you to record me. I did it because the Lord told me to do it. So we get ready to walk out, the lady chased me down. And she was like, wait, can I get your number or something, like, you know, like a card or something like that? And, you know, she started crying because she was like, I'm the one that's always blessing someone, but no one really blessed me. So we have to be into a place to where we move out all distractions of what God is calling us to do. And it got to be to a position to where we hear God, because certain friends, certain people that we're around, they don't mean us no good. And you know, that's all I got for y'all. I thank y'all just for listening to my testimony. Thank y'all.